Hi, I'm staying with the sand dunes, but I had a couple of attempts yesterday. They weren't bad, but I was reduced to putting them in a smaller apertured mount to get the best bit of it. So I've just sketched this out roughly. I'm going to use one colour. I'm going to use, no I'm not, I'm going to use two colours. No, I'm going to stay with the one. So just use sepia to see if we can get all the tones right. So I'll wet the paper all over, the usual wetting wet. For me to do dry painting, just wetting bits, but I'd have to use something much heavier than this. So it didn't go in those horrible cauliflowers. Right, there we are, nice clean water. So I'll give this a bit of a, dry in a little bit. But I think with all of this, it's best to approach it with the old acronym, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. If you over elaborate, you can do that with oils and so on, but this is a much more spontaneous medium. So we've got some distance here, distant dunes. I put it very faint. There's another dune in here merging with this other one coming around the bay a bit, and all this marram grass. So there's a lot to sort out, and I'm not saying this is a tone study, more that it's a painting in one colour. So get the old sepia, very very light for the sky. Well, we can get some movement in the clouds here. Then we just drag that down to nothing here, let that work its way down. And then I put the lightest tones in on the beach. Then we just put the basic colour of the dunes in here. Right, let's I'll reclip this. It's quite dry atmosphere, but very little rain. I think we can get a lot of rain tomorrow. But the paper is drying very quickly, which doesn't help our cause, I must say. We get that nice and flat. Okay. So I'll just give it a bit of a dry. So take your headphones off. Right. Okay. So we'll put in a sea, which is sort of quite light. Right, okay. So we've got some reflections in there of that cloud in the wet sand here going across there. All right, let's just pick up that wet there. Let's blend into the. I was going to put the cliffs or the sand dunes. that didn't dry enough there, did it? Right, well let's put in some slightly heavier, they do need a cloth handy, so a bit darker. So we'll take this over to here. Just want it just a little bit darker. I'll take it out to there. Right. Let's go. Now I'll put in, while I'm at it, just a little bit of darker. Just to show some grasses and stuff on the top here. Right. Just take that off there. Where's my little bit of tissue? Just put that. Hardly shows there now. That's not gone very nice, is it? But I'll put a bit of more dry brush over that. Right, that's that tone in. Maybe I could blot out a little bit of that. Just light, taking a little bit of light out of there into the. Okay. Just soften that top a little bit. That didn't quite work, did it? Right, okay, that's not too bad. This is a real test of using the hake. So we've got this other one here, so that'll be a bit darker still. This is where you need to control the water in the hake. So this one needs to be just a little bit darker than the distant dune. So let's just. Right, so that is slightly darker than that one, and put in just a little bit of harder stuff on the horizon here. Right, okay. So now we come into the really dark bits now, or darker bits. So we've got a lot of grass coming down here. So the light coming from the right. Just coming into the light here. Just trying to show the direction of the grass as simply as I can without using a rigger. Just using a few bristles. Right, okay. So we'll put in, this makes it a bit more uneven along here. Right, I'll put some shadows on here. I still need some more dark in this shadow here. Just leave some of those out. Now the real darks in here. Have to do that dark, otherwise it won't register. Right, getting with some shadowy bits now. So we get a nice real darks in here. This is the shadow, very heavy. And I'll just lift out a few. Don't know if they'll show, but all helps. Okay, so more shadow now. And we've got some shadow, we'll have some shadow showing from these dunes here. And then I'll try and dry brush across there just to disguise that edge and just put a bit of texture on the beach. paper's a bit lumpy. I can't do much more to the sea than that, just to show a little bit of detail on the shadow in the waves. Then I'll put in some figures. Texture, a bit of interest. Okay. This is turning out to be more a tone study than a painting, isn't it? But find a rigger, and we'll put in some little figures. Just little bits of interest. Some heads all the same. The feet further down. Oops. To show reflection in that, because that is showing the wet sand. I'm going to put in more. Okay, so now we can put in a bit of a sail. Okay, so let's just put in a little bit of heavier stuff here just to show where the shadow is. Right, okay, so I can't really do much more to that. I put it in a mount and we'll have a look. We'll call it a tone study because it's not really a portrait, is it? It's not a sort of finished painting, but what we've tried to do is to reduce everything into tones rather than colours, cool and warm. Let's have a look. I'll put in the light coloured mount. I must admit I don't find these easy. Trying to make a lot of sand and stuff, but it's all shadows, just little bits of detail. I might even put a couple of sticks in there or something. Needs it. So just a bit of a bush or something. Let's have a figure up the top here. Okay, a bit bigger than the one I did the other day. Okay. Just a bit of a cheat, I might just as well put a label there saying sand dunes, marram grass. Right, so I'm going to let that go. I don't reckon it's too bad. Is it good enough for YouTube? Yeah, I think so. Let's bring you around and we'll have a little look. I've done 2 that I've published and I've had 2 unlikes, 1 on each, so if somebody doesn't like them. But really, we're all learning. Let's just come around to see what we've done. Let's look at the figures first on the beach. What I said yesterday, the eye line, that's where all the heads will be, but the feet will go up to vanish. That's our horizon, our vanishing point, because I'm standing more or less, well, just above where they will be. That went a little bit wrong there. It's not bad. The little figure on the top is okay. Well, any comments, just get onto my channel and leave them, rather than put an unlike. Just say why you don't like it. Although you can't please everybody all the time. So there we are. A study in sepia, sand dune study in sepia. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.